Wings vs. Fever, where to watch Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, start time, preview, TV channel, live stream. Sunday in Indianapolis marks the first time Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers meet as professionals as the Wings travel to Indy to face the Fever. The two teams met once in Dallas at the end of June, but Clark missed what became a 94-86 Fever win with a groin strain. Clark returned to the Indiana lineup Wednesday in a loss to the Valkyries, finally setting up the highly anticipated showdown between the last two #1 overall picks. Clark will be looking to shake out of her season-long shooting slump against Bueckers and the Wings, as she's shooting 37.6% from the field and 28.7% from three-point range so far this season. The All-Star captain hopes to find a rhythm now that she's finally healthy and lift the Fever out of the middle of the pack in the standings. Bueckers, meanwhile, rounded into form over the last month and solidified her place as an All-Star, as the top pick is averaging 20.2 points and 4.7 assists per game since returning to the lineup on June 11th. In that time, the Wings have climbed out of the very bottom of the WNBA standings and are inching closer to the Sparks and Sky just ahead of them. Bueckers and the Wings should get a boost from the return of All-WNBA star Reese Ogunbowale, who went through a full practice recently after missing 2 weeks with a left thumb injury, and is expected to be back in the lineup for the national TV showdown with the Fever. All eyes will be on Indy on Sunday for the most anticipated individual matchup of the season between Clark and Bueckers, as the two young stars begin what could become one of the WNBA's next great rivalries. The Fever had plans of being a championship contender, but they've only been able to tread water approaching the midpoint of the season at 10-10. Injuries played a role in that, particularly with Clark in and out of the lineup, but now that their star is back in the fold, they look to make a little run to build some momentum into the All-Star break. After a rough return against the Valkyries, Clark and the Fever cruised to a victory over the Dream on Friday night and will be looking to make it back-to-back wins against the Wings. Clark looks to finally find her shooting form after a tough start to the season, with her absences due to injury not helping in her quest to find a shooting rhythm. She's still averaging 16.9 points, 8.6 assists and 4.9 rebounds per game, but she's yet to find the same form she showed in the second half of last season that made her a top 5 MVP candidate. If she can regain that form and efficiency, with the way Kelsey Mitchell, 19.2 ppg, and Aaliyah Boston, 16.2 ppg, 8.1 rpg, have been playing this season, the Fever still have the firepower to be a real threat in the postseason. Indiana has 3 more games before they play host to All-Star Weekend, and need to use that as a runway to build some confidence ahead of a second-half push for playoff seeding. Dallas got off to a dreadful start to the season at 1-11 but have steadily grown into a more competitive club, going 5-4 in their last 9 games. There was always going to be a learning curve for Bueckers, but she's been playing at an all-star level over the last month and they've weathered recent injuries to Ogunbowale and Dejounte Carrington thanks to some big performances from J.J. Quinerly in their last 4 games. As Dallas looks towards the second half of the season, they'll be hoping to build on the steps forward they've made in the last month and see what the Bueckers and Ogunbowale pairing can do when healthy and with more reps together. The postseason is likely out of reach, but this was always going to be a team taking the long view this year, establishing a solid foundation for the future and getting more comfortable with each other and competing with the game.